I come from a very small town in India, and my dad is an engineer. My mother was a housewife for a very long time, and the only motto, the only thought they had in the life is to see that me and my brother get proper education. The only thought process which they always, worked with is that to see that we get educated properly and achieve our degrees. And in India, it is very, very important for the kids to study and become a doctor or an engineer, because those are the only two lines they think it's being successful. Okay, I'm talking quite some time back, but that was a thought process. So I have studied whole my life in a hostel, and only in the vacations is the time when I used to go back home and meet my parents. And I always used to feel, why my parents have put me to hostel. Why do they want to keep us separate? Why they don't want us to be there together with them? And every time this thought used to come, I used to feel bad. I used to feel very angry. I used to feel that they don't need me or they don't want me. And that is why maybe they're asking most of the time for us to stay in a hostel. But when we grew, slowly and steadily, me and my brother, we studied well. He was obviously much better than me, I would say that. He was always a 95 percentile. I was always an average student. I was not a very studious person, but I was an average student. He became a doctor, a very specialized doctor. I was just a graduate. And after my studies, I felt that the best way to come out of this hostel life is to get married. I met my husband in a train when I was 19, fell in love, and got married at the age of 19. Okay. After my marriage, I shifted to another part, totally a different part of the India, which is down south. And the whole concept of life changed. How many women here sitting are married? Would you agree that life actually changes after marriage? Suddenly your relationship changes, your parameters changes, the way you look at things changes, everything changed. And I started working at the age of 19, immediately after my wedding, my first job. And I started working and I started enjoying. But I was not like this, to be honest. Okay? Like VP Arun was saying yesterday, that people do change. Yes. People change in this business. It was not easy for me to come up on a stage like this and talk to a crowd. It was tough. If I tell you a story, you will laugh at it. But do you go and buy burgers? Do you go to shops, buy food? Normal? Nothing special? I've been brought up in a hostel, so everything is given. You have a meal, you have your routine, your discipline, you get up at time, you sleep at time, you study, the food is served. I'm used to that. When I got married and I went with my husband for the first time out, I still remember he asked me to go to McDonald's and buy 2 burgers. I, standing here, to be so-called AVP Shipra, couldn't go and buy 2 burgers. I couldn't talk to the guy opposite to the table and tell him what I need exactly. I was so scared. I was so fragile at that time with the thought of communication. That was my biggest learning, that I need to grow out of this and I need to become independent. I need to do things on my own and I need to learn to do it to the perfection, because that's what I am. And that was my first learning, that I want to go out and do. And my life started. My life was very fun. I used to get up in the morning, go to office, come back, take care of my family. In India, it is very important to take care of your in-laws, take care of your family. So I was totally submitted to my family. The evenings, I used to come back and spend time with my family and sleep. Get up in the morning, do the routine again. So I used to do this every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. And life moved on. And life changed. I had my son, who's now 12 years old. And in middle of this whole thing, life was very normal, a normal middle-class family, just like you or just like anybody else. And I never expected to do something. I never wanted to do something. I was happy. I was very satisfied. But one fine day, my life changed. One of my very close friends, my best friend, called me in the morning around 4:30 in the morning. And who calls at 4:30 in the morning when you're sleeping? But he called and he said, Shipra, come home right now. And he just disconnected. I was like, what happened? Why would my best friend call me at this hour and ask me to come 4:30 to his place? He called me and he said, and I was like, okay, let's go. What is, he might not call me just like that. And I went. When I went there, 5 o'clock in the morning, I entered his house. And that moment, that one moment changed my whole life. So whenever I stand here, whenever I talk, I always talk about that moment because that was my moment of change. Because when I was standing there, I saw his father lying down on the floor. And he was no more. At night, suddenly he just passed away. And that's why he called me. And when I saw his father's face, I went in a shock. Because for a certain moment, I didn't see his father's face. I saw my dad's face. I don't know why, what happened, but for that moment, I just felt, oh my God, this is my dad. And I lost him. And I went in a shock. I was admitted in a hospital for nervous breakdown for almost 4 days. I was around 27 years old. And my whole life, I have done is get up, study, have fun, got married, and I've forgotten somewhere the whole thought process of my existence is my parents. And what have I done for them? What have I given them? What am I doing for them? I'm so busy in my own life. I'm so busy in making money and surviving and leading that I have not ended up giving the part of fun, the part of life which I wanted to give to my parents. And that was the moment when I realized that I need to change this whole thing. And believe me, they always have this saying, and I'm sure you've heard about it, that when you really need something, when you really want something, the whole universe conspires to make it happen for you. The whole universe. And that's exactly what happened with me. The whole universe conspired and QNet happened in my life exactly at that moment. Out of nowhere, one of my friends, very close friends, came to me and said, I have this amazing opportunity, Shipra, and I want to share this with you. And I signed up in the business 8 years back. And the moment I signed up in this business, my first decision was that I am going to make it big. Come what may, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to give my best because I want to give my family a lot of time and a lot of money to do things. And I started with a lot of excitement. So I ended up calling my husband for the first. I told him, let's sign up. He said, no. He said, no, I don't want to sign up. I don't want to do this business. And this is not good. You should also not do it. I said, okay. I called my brother, my elder brother, my only sibling, the closest to my heart. I thought I'm just going to call him and he's going to say, oh, yeah, let's do it. I called him. He said, are you seriously telling me you're doing direct selling? Are you serious? I am not doing it. I can't go and talk to people. He kept the phone. my heart was a little broken and I was like, what the hell is happening? The two closest people, my husband and my brother, both said no. Is it gonna be this tough? Because the closest people said no. What's gonna happen? How am I gonna be successful? All my dreams, all my thoughts, everything. You understand? It just went shaking down. And then, you know that sometimes you have this voice inside. You talk to yourself. Do you talk to yourself? So I spoke to myself and I said, come what may, I have to do this now. Because if my closest people said no to me, they have to believe that whatever I am doing, I'm doing it right. And they will one day stand with me and do it. And you know what today? My husband is an AVP along with me. My brother is a VC, Onil Gupta. And my best friend is one of the strongest pillar of my organization today. And I'm not telling this to you because I want to say, oh my God, I did brilliant. No. I'm telling you because I just kept one thing, is faith. I just kept one thing, is my dream alive, to give in abundance to my family. And that was the only thing which kept me going, and that's the only thing which still keeps me going. But has this whole thought process been easy? Is it easy to do? No? Why is it not easy to do? Why is it not easy to do? Because you see people saying no, because you see failures, because you just give up. So what I did, I'm just sharing my story with you. What I did when I first maxed out, okay, which was me being in the business around 2 years, and I maxed out, I called my parents, okay, and I called my parents and I told them, pack your bags, we're going out. I'm not going to save this money, I'm going to spend it. And I want to spend on you because that's my reason to start the business. And my dad has never been out of the country. My dad didn't even had a passport at that time. My mom never even can think about, they come from a very small town, they have that small thought process. But I told them, this is gonna be the change. Took my parents for the first time to an international trip. And I took them to Dubai because that time we were staying in India. We took them to Dubai. My dad, okay, is 75. He's 75 years old. He's still like a 2-year-old child, He was so scared because it's a foreign land. He was so worried. He took my hand and he walked with me throughout, holding my hand. And I thought there was a time when he used to, and I used to hold his hand as a child. And today he is holding my hand because he wants me to guide him. He went everywhere. He was so excited. He was so happy. And his happiness, his smile was my success, was my happiness. And that day, my whole concept of building my network changed. The whole thing changed. Because I saw my dad enjoying so much, I could relate that my downlines will start enjoying this business when they will get to see the luxury. But that luxury can only come after a lot of hard work, after a lot of strong decisions, after a lot of giving up. And that is one thing which I apply. I build my network with love. I build my network like a family. Every individual is like a family. So come challenge, come failures, come anything, it does not stop us. It does not weaken us. It does not make us go down. It just helps us to make it better. It just helps us to make it more bigger because we face challenges together, holding hand with each other. The reason I'm standing today here to tell you is that this life is possible for your family also. This vacation is also possible for you. But that would require a lot of hard work. That would require a lot of decision. That would require a lot of commitment. And that would require a lot of change. So are you ready to change? You don't only have to say, it's not only about saying it by just expressing it the way you're talking, but yeah, I want to change, yay, yay. Change is gonna be painful. Change is gonna be making you take some very strong decisions. Change is not gonna be sitting on the comfortable chairs and relaxing. Everything which you're gonna do is gonna come with the same thoughts in your mind. Should I? Shouldn't I? Yes, no, why? And everything is gonna stop you. Everything. From the simplest thing of sitting on a chair, whether should I stand or should I not stand? Should I clap or should I not clap? Should I shout or should I not shout? Should I make a war noise or should I not? Everything is gonna come with a question mark. Should I? Shouldn't I? And what's gonna stop that? What's gonna stop that? The only thing that's gonna stop that is you. So you make a decision. You decide you want or you don't want to do this. So do you want to come here and talk one day? Do you want to experience the stage? Then take that decision today. Believe that you can rise to a very different level. Believe that making max out every week is just a habit. Is just a habit. And that's how the success happens. That's how the change happens. That's how you rise from one place to another. And a person like me, just a graduate, no special degrees, no special education, just a graduate, owns a villa, drives a Bentley, leads a team, and able to give the family the best they deserve, the best they need, is only happened because I took a decision. If someone like me, who doesn't come from any educated background, or big family, or anything, the only thing I put is my hard work, my decision, and my belief. If I can do it, you can do it.